There has always been a blue economy aspect to our lives.
Yeah.
Fish production at the culture level, that's aquaculture, is part of the blue economy. The blue economy is not starting now.
It's something that has been
It has been
existing.
there. We have our little, no matter how little, how small it is, there's something about us that speaks to tourism.
Okay.
All right. So it's not new. Getting fish from the ocean is not new. Extracting resources from mangrove forest is not a new thing. Ecotourism is not new. Marine logistics is not new. Or maybe sustainable development too is not actually new.
So this blue economy and agricultural resources, how can Bayelsans tap from it? How can we start seeing it as part of us? That even though we don't have jobs yet, we can tap from our resources and make a living for ourselves.
Earlier I talked about the fact that there is so much money from our subsurface geography
Yeah.
that we don't seem to be set to do more than we are doing in the blue and marine economic sector. But already a lot is going on. You talked about seeing some big fish somewhere.
Yeah.
There's some ecotourism going on. But I think what we need to do is to escalate it.
Make it good viral.
Yes. Increase
Make it
the
nice.
attention that we give to them. And that is what this present government is doing. There is a ministry for blue and marine economy, and they are working on something. There is concept of fish cities, but the individual Bayelsa, how can he benefit from the blue economy? You see, the blue economy has a complex chain. No matter what you do, you can find yourself into the blue economy to extract something. When we are able to build it up to a particular level, the transporter is getting some benefits. The craftsman is getting some benefits. The man who builds and fixes our canoes and boats and ships is reaping in some benefits. The man who goes around narrating historical facts to people who have come for tourism is also making some money from it. The processor, the man who cleans up, the woman who cleans up periwinkles for people to buy, is engaging in, is entering the blue economy. The storage man who has cold rooms, no matter how small or big it is part of blue economy. The lady who who makes bole by the roadside and is roasting some fish is part of the blue economy. The logistic guys, the transport guys on the water, and so on and so forth, they are into the blue economy. But in production, what do we do?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Open Insight. Today, we're having a very important conversation about Bayelsa State, the blue economy, and its untapped resources that lies between our waterways, our marine resources, and our agricultural potential. For years, Bayelsa has been known as an oil-producing state, but beyond crude oil lies a wonderful, powerful economic resources that many people are only beginning to understand. With us today is Professor Onekwu Onuche, who is an expert and who is going to help us break down the Bayelsa blue economy and help us know how to tap from its resources. Professor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today. So we'll give you the privilege to introduce yourself to our audience.
All right. Good day. Welcome, everyone. My name is Onekwu Onuche. I'm a professor of agricultural economics. I teach agricultural economics at the University of Africa, Turora in Bayelsa State. I've been here for over 8 years now, and it's a very interesting place to be.
Thank you very much, Professor. So let's dive right into the conversation for today. So today we are talking about the Bayelsa blue economy. So there are lots of people out there in Bayelsa State who doesn't even know what the blue economy is all about and how it connects to agricultural resources. So we would love you to explain what the Bayelsa blue economy means and how it connects to agricultural resources.
So basically, from afar, you are tempted to believe that the Bayelsan man is existing on a subsurface geography, that is, it's existing on just oil. But there are a lot of agricultural potentials in Bayelsa State. Bayelsa is a net producer of plantain, and it has the capacity to produce the resources to produce so many agriculture, if not all the agricultural commodities that we talk about in the country. But for now, I know that one day she will wake up and begin to make use of that. But today we are talking about the blue and marine economy. Generally, agriculture is a big man and has so many children, and there's a crop aspect to agriculture. There's the animal science aspect to agriculture. There's the forestry aspect to agriculture. There's the fisheries and aquaculture aspect to agriculture. And somehow there's an environmental aspect to agriculture. So when we talk about the blue economy, we are dealing with the marine resources, inland body resources, coastal resources, all right? These are resources available to us from nature, our mangrove forest, our ocean, the coastal line, which is about 203 kilometers, but it also has the longest of them. That's a rich resource. Then we have our inland water bodies, many rivers and creeks and the like. So blue economy speaks to optimally extracting as much as possible on a sustainable basis from our aquatic bodies to grow our economy, provide jobs, while keeping the aquatic body intact without hurting our children's
or our environment.
Our environment, and without hurting or jeopardizing our children and children's potentials to extract the same benefit that we are extracting.
So for someone in Lagos, Bayelsa State, and other states in Nigeria, we want you to paint a picture of how the Bayelsa geography economy looks like and how it connects to the blue economy too.
Thank you. I think I talked about that a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So Bayelsa is strategically positioned. All the waters that come from the northern part of the country, once they begin to get into the Niger Delta, they begin to split into different mouths, all right, to find their ways to the Atlantic Ocean. And Bayelsa has many of these rivers, and creeks. Now, talking about the blue economy, each of these water bodies is a huge cache of resources, all right, fisheries resources. You can harness these water bodies for aquaculture as well as fisheries. And then when you get to the Atlantic Ocean, which we have about 203 or so kilometers, there's a huge cache of fisheries resources, all right, in the ocean, where we can go to, extract aquatic life for food and for commerce. And so it's a wonderful thing that Bayelsa has. And if we're able to develop enough extractive, the right level of the right sophistication of extractive logistics, to pick these natural resources from our water bodies, we'll be doing well in Bayelsa. And maybe along the line, we'll talk about the mangrove forest and and the capacity for generating billions in carbon credits.
This whole blue economy and agricultural resources, from what you've said, I am getting to understand that this is not something small. This is the very large thing we're talking about. Is something that if one gets involved in, it can actually generate income for you. Even though you don't have a job, it can generate income for you. Take care of your family while you're still looking for a job. Right. Okay. So I made mention of something, the untapped resources. What are some 3 resources that Bayelsa actually have, but people don't really want to go into it, or people don't really make mention of it, or it just feels like they don't exist?
Okay, thank you very much. The temptation to reduce blue economy to just fishes and aquatic life is not something that we should yield to. We should talk about marine logistics as part of the blue economy. Okay. Taking care of the ocean when people are exploiting crude oil, is part of what we should carefully mention when discussing the blue and marine economy. We should think of ecotourism as well. Ecotourism has huge potentials. It's very beautiful when we see people do your boat dance. We see you.
Okay,
yes, the
during
boat dance.
festivals, you
Yes.
see people dancing on the water like
Yes,
that.
it's an opportunity for you to invite Nigerians from other parts of the country to come and witness it. And if you invite somebody into your house, he's going to sleep in your hotels, he's going to buy your food, he's going to leave a lot of money behind and go. So it's an area that we have not been able to adequately, tap. And another aspect that we would want to look at is seaweed production, which is a huge seaweed production, which will form a good component of animal feed. We have not been able to address that. Have we been able to do justice to the concept of carbon credit? We have thousands of hectares of mangrove forest. It's a place that we can organize our experts to look into and see how they can calculate our carbon credits for it. Because the guys who exploit our oil and undertake carbon activities pump a lot of carbon dioxide into the air. Our forests help to trap and store this carbon dioxide for carbon sequestration. Are we going to be able to organize our experts to calculate how much services our forests render to the world, to the earth, and then ask some of these oil companies and the like to pay us some money, billions of naira? Yeah. So these are areas, these are dark horse areas that we have not been able to look at. And there's another opportunity. If we take care of our environment well and guarantee security, I bet you that many more researchers will be interested in our mangrove forest and our water bodies. They'll come from wherever they are from outside the country. Stay with us, research, pay us some money, pay the people guiding them into the water bodies, in the creek and the forest, pay them some money, buy our food, sleep in our hotels, drop some money, and go. And then our environment can become a research, a place where people can come and conduct research, becomes a research-friendly environment and becomes a place of interest for studying biodiversity.
Okay. So what do you think is stopping all this? Why isn't this going on?
Is it infrastructural? Is it past security? Is it something that has to do with the willpower?
Okay.
I'm tempted to say that if God blesses some persons with so much resources, the blessing becomes a curse. But I'm not going to say that. For now, I think that we have so much money from our subsurface geography that we do not care about exploiting other areas. But I'm sure that one day, and as the governor is beginning to think, we'll begin to extract much from the resources around us, away from oil or alongside oil.
Okay, we hope so too. All right. So for years, Bayelsa has been known as an oil producing state, crude oil. And some people has tagged Bayelsa State as just oil state. It's just based off crude oil. But we would like to know what lies beyond crude oil for Bayelsa.
It's a very huge error for anybody sitting outside Bayelsa to tag Bayelsa an oil state. I've conducted a research with a few colleagues of mine about employment and job opportunities in Bayelsa State. We've looked at agriculture. The first set of yam that come out, that get into the market in this country, Bayelsa is part of those that bring those yam out. From June, we'll begin to see yam.
Yes.
Benue, that is called the food basket of Nigeria, will not see yam until August, September. So among those few persons that are able to bring out yam early enough, the early tubers that we get in the country, Bayelsa is one of them.
Wow, I'm hearing this.
Bayelsa is one of them. And so when you sit from afar and say Bayelsa is an oil rich, we produce a gari we eat here.
Exactly.
Produce one of the finest. I eat gari in the Middle Belt. When I came to Bayelsa, I know that there is gari and there is gari. There's spokunoku. There's plenty of potatoes, sweet potatoes here.
Yes.
We produce them here. There's plenty of cassava. The cassava we use in making gari, we produce them here. I'm not happy that we have not done enough as per rice anyway.
Yeah.
All right. And God has helped you with African mango, Ibingia bonensis, the African mango, the ogbono. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
We have them here. And then we are beginning to see that if we draw a good timetable, whatever crop they plant in other parts of the country, we can plant them here. I have planted tomatoes here and harvested them here. Yes. A friend of mine, Mr. Matthew, has planted beans and harvested beans here. It's a matter of timing. There's no crop you can grow anywhere in this country, most of them, that you'll not be able to grow in Bayelsa. So Bayelsa is not just one oil state. You see people on the street, the Milford Okilo Road, the Aziboro Road, everybody is doing something. Nobody is waiting for oil money. When one man said we were lazy and we were lazy youths, I didn't agree with him because I've seen Bayelsa myself. So Bayelsa has a huge cachet of men and women into industry. Agree that the fabrication and manufacturing is still on the low side. We all the manufactured stuff, that we consume here, basically we get them from outside. But to say that we are depending on oil is not true. There's services here. Good trade, commerce. Go to Swale Market. Yes, go to Swale Market. You will know that the people who say, go to Zarama Market. You will know that the people who say we are depending on oil are not telling the truth, or they don't know about Bayelsa.
Yeah. And the good part is there are places in Bayelsa State that whenever you're looking for certain food crops, they will just tell you, have you heard of so place? When you go there are lots of women, men, that you can't believe that, wow, Bayelsa has such a thing existing. There was a time we were looking for where to get fishes in bulks, not just normal catfish, river fishes of different types. And we went to Swale, we didn't see, we tried our best until we went to Otiopoti. And we crossed the boat. We used the boat to cross to the other side. And I was amazed at what I saw. Women from different regions, different states, different local governments in Bayelsa State came, and I saw different fishes everywhere, and I was shocked. I said, is this actually Bayelsa?
It's Bayelsa.
Oh my God. Fishes as big as human that is there. You see it there, whatever you're looking for. Yes, when you cross the bridge, they are there. And we bought in a big bath, we bought a fish, and the fish were big. I was amazed by what Bayelsans could actually do, and I was happy when I saw it. So I think we should stop looking Bayelsa as just an oil state.
No, when you get to, is it Koluama?
Yes,
Agay and Koluama, yes, Agay and the Brass. You will see a lot.
I think Brass is one of the places I need to visit. I hear a lot about it, but I don't have the mind to go there because of the water. Thank you very much, Professor. We have lots of questions lined up for you today. So, parts of the blue economy also I think some people are scared because of the oil stuff and how it will affect our environment. This blue economy, if ever we venture into it and if people start taking the blue economy serious, is it a guarantee that our environment will be safe? Our surroundings will be safe. We won't be breathing different air, or people will start taking it for granted.
Okay, safety.
Yes,
environmental
safety.
Safety. Let us know that there has always been a blue economy aspect to our lives.
Yeah.
Fish production at the culture level, that's aquaculture, is part of the blue economy. The blue economy is not starting now.
It's something that has been.
It has been there. We have a little, no matter how little, how small it is, there's something about us that speaks to tourism.
Okay.
All right. So it's not new. Getting fish from the ocean is not new. Extracting resources from mangrove forest is not a new thing. Ecotourism is not new. Marine logistics is not new. Or maybe sustainable development too is not actually new. We have our native ways of conserving our resources. That's fine. But when, as the governor has started, we get to begin to escalate, do more in the, blue and marine economy sector, the question is whether we will not be polluting the air, destroying the ecosystem,
Yes.
and so on and so forth. All these should be taken care of by any policy on the blue and marine economy. Environmental sustainability, resource sustainability, responsible use of natural resources should be a core component of whatever policy that will come out in the name of the blue economy, such that you're going to extract prosperity from the blue economy does not jeopardize my health.
Yes, exactly.
The government should be able to address that. It shouldn't jeopardize my life, shouldn't jeopardize my land. If I'm involved with green economy, your activities should not destroy my crops. All right. If I'm involved with agriculture, your activities should not destroy my crop. Definitely, there has to be a section of the policy that will address environmental sustainability and resource responsibility.
Thank you very much, Professor. I love what you just said. So this blue economy and agricultural resources, how can Bayelsans tap from it? How can we start seeing it as part of us? That even though we don't have jobs yet, we can tap from our resources and make a living for ourselves.
Earlier I talked about the fact that there's so much money from our subsurface geography
Yeah.
that we don't seem to be set to do a lot, right? Do more than we are doing in the blue and marine economic sector. But already a lot is going on. You talked about seeing some big fish somewhere.
Yeah.
There's some ecotourism going on. But I think what we need to do is to escalate this.
Make it go viral.
Yes. Increase
Making
the
it
attention that we give to them, to these opportunities. And that is what this present government is doing. There is a ministry for blue and marine economy, and they are working on something. There is concept of fish cities that
Yeah.
is coming on up as a follow-up to that policy. But the individual Bayelsa, how can he benefit from the blue economy? You see, the blue economy has a complex chain. No matter what you do, you can find yourself into the blue economy to extract something. When we are able to build it up to a particular level, the transporter is getting some benefits. The craftsman is getting some benefits. The man who builds and fixes our canoes and boats and ships is reaping in some benefits. The man who goes around narrating historical facts to people who have come for tourism is also making some money from it. The processor, the man who cleans up, the woman who cleans up periwinkles for people to buy, is engaging in, is entering the blue economy. The storage man who has cold rooms, no matter how small or big it is part of blue economy. The lady who makes bole by the roadside and is roasting some fish is part of the blue economy. The logistic guys, the transport guys on the water, and so on and so forth, they are into the blue economy. But in production, what do we do? Can we begin to think of escalating our efforts in the aquaculture domain? For instance, the water is there. You do not need to spend a whole day sinking a borehole in Bayelsa, in most parts of Bayelsa, before you find fresh water.
Yeah.
To run a pond. So what are we waiting for? I think it's a matter of the will. It's a matter of whether I'm ready to start something or not. Otherwise, the humans are there, over 2 million people in Bayelsa State. Not up to half of them are gainfully employed. The environment is rich enough for you to start something. So it's a matter of decision. When am I going to start it and how do I start it? When we begin to answer that question, maybe we'll begin to mop up capital to begin to engage in this activity so we can make a living from the blue economy.
So we all know that we have the salt water and we have the fresh water, fresh water. So which of this is Bayelsa's gold mine? Is it the fresh or the salt?
Okay, I hope I don't get to waste your time on it. The salt water, that's by the salt water, ocean water, is being overfishing, both inland water
Okay.
and the water and the salt water. We are overfishing. Okay, overfishing means we are going beyond the maximum sustainable yield. That is, we are depleting the stock of fish that will produce for our children, for our tomorrow. That's one aspect. But when you want to talk of which one is the gold mine, actually, if we can set up the extractive logistics, the equipment we need, and mount on the ocean, we are going to bring in a lot of fish for ourselves and for other states. But at the moment, freshwater aquaculture is easier to engage in because you're not going to need so much money to set the facilities up.
Okay, okay. So more like the freshwater is what we work with right now.
For now.
For now.
Yeah,
Okay, for
yeah,
now.
yeah.
For now. All right. So if you have 5 minutes with the governor of Bayelsa State, all right, what two policy would you bring to immediate effect to bring the blue economy out to light?
Okay. So the ideas that I will sell to him, because
Yes.
there's already a policy on blue economy and the government is working on, there's a ministry for blue and marine economy. Yes.
Interesting.
The federal government started one and gladly the Bayelsa State government is following through. I am not comfortable with government as a businessman. Government is a bad businessman. All right.
Okay.
And I do hope, I will tell him, I do hope that we have learned our lessons from other agricultural projects and programs.
Okay.
Because it is one thing to have a policy. A policy is your mindset. All right. What you want the society to look like. And the governor is saying that he wants us to draw prosperity from the blue and marine economy. That's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful policy. But what are the programs and what are the projects? What level of role, how much role does the government need to play? And my advice would be that in running a blue economy, the government should just act as a facilitator rather than a participant. And that a cluster of scholars and entrepreneurs should be set up here, there, who are concerned with any aspect of the economy. I also who are concerned with any aspect of the economy to grow it, private guys, but there will be a government person around them to monitor things so that nobody deviates, like we're talking about environmental sustainability. That's one of the things I will tell him. The government shouldn't be involved in the day-to-day running. Number two, I will draw his attention to the fact that we need to select a group of environmental scientists to begin to calculate how much we can get from the services our forests render to the world in the name of trapping carbon dioxide. There's a way you can calculate that and begin to make claims. Number three, my prayer to him would be, or the prayer I will make for him, or what I would tell him would be to be sure of the sustainability of his ideas.
Yes.
Because this governor says this is good, the Doediri says this is good. Mr. X is coming tomorrow. How is he going to be able to continue with it? So in framing the policy, you can institutionalize it in such a way that whoever becomes the governor tomorrow will not have a hand in what happens with the blue economy. Then you would have defeated whatever external factors there are in the name of unintended beneficiaries. These are the things I would want to tell him. Okay. Sustainability, having a look at this, making sure that it's all businessmen driven, capitalist driven, not government driven. Because government is not a good businessman.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready is Bayelsa State to harness the potential of the blue economy?
The human resources are there. Okay. All right. We have many people who do not have jobs And even those who have jobs, we know many of them who do not spend 8 hours on the job. Not many of us spend 8 hours on the job where we should. So there's a huge cachet of resources, human resources. Those who are unemployed and those who are employed. I should tell you that a government employee, a civil servant, has the right to undertake agricultural activity. So we have plenty of people in that. And then added to the fact that there's a governor who is interested in the blue economy, it means something is ready for takeoff. And if the government is ready for takeoff and we have so much resources and we have so much experts at UAT and NGU and Otweke, then I will score us 3. That we are actually at the takeoff level.
Okay.
I will score us 3.
We are hoping that as time goes on, we'll get to 10%, where the blue economy is now known, is now in light, and everybody can tap from its resources. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much for enlightening us and even our audience. Thank you for breaking down the blue economy for us to understand it more better. I've just realized that the blue economy has been a part of us for a very long time, just that we don't really take it seriously. And today, guys, here you have it. I hope that as you've listened to today's show, that you would now tap from the blue economy and the agricultural potential. Thank you very much for joining us today. Stay informed and stay motivated. We'll see you in our next show. Thank you.